Hey guys, EVP Man here, and happy Samsung Friday to you all. So today we're going to continue our video series sharing with you how to install the tempered glass screen protector that we saw just a few weeks ago from Whitestone Dome Glass. This is the only tempered glass screen protector that works with the fingerprint technology on the new S10 and S10 Plus. So let's check it out and see what's involved. Now, the Whitestone Dome Glass tempered glass screen protector is one of the best glass screen protectors in the market. I have it on all my phones, and it's the only one that supports that fingerprint technology. Now, we're also going to be reviewing some I would say, the film-based screen protectors that are also supportive, but today we're focusing on glass. So for those of you who have never really seen the Dome Glass solution before, let's take a closer look at the packaging and seeing what's involved.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the little bell icon to get notified when new videos become available.
Now, for those of you who have never heard of Whitestone Dome Glass, let's take a look at the packaging so we can see what's involved. First, ultrasonic fingerprint recognition, so that means fingerprint's going to work. Also has full clarity, so you're not going to have any issues with the screen afterwards. Full coverage and full filling. Now, one of the things that you can use this for if you don't have this on your phone today, and unfortunately, with any of their products, right? If we look at the S9, S7, S6, if you crack your screen, this is a good repair solution too, because it will fill those cracks and it will give you a really good experience depending on how much damage you have. And I've actually had friends who have tried this. So now for this solution, we're going to go ahead and go through the installation process. But before we do that, we're going to see what's inside. So let's open up the box and see what's included. A couple things that you're going to see here. First, in this box, we have our UV system with a micro USB charging cable that we're going to use to power that. And then what we have here is the installation tray with all of the accessories you need. So we're going to see how all this works. Make sure you watch the entire video before you start, at least once, so that you can see what the process is like. I've installed dozens of these without any problems at all. So for those of you who have done this before, now we have the little absorption areas here are pre-installed for you, so if you have any excess glue, that's going to absorb it really nicely. You do have these dust removals, alcohol swabs, as well as little wipes that you'll be able to use. We have installation guide. We have here our glass protector and these tabs. Now these tabs, you're going to use it to cover the speaker. So we're going to throw that to the side for now. As we look at the glass, this glass has no dots, no micro dots at all, so it's clear. And then as we turn it, you'll notice it's really thin. And where the fingerprint would be, there's no cutout, except there is a cutout here at the very top by where you have your camera. So that's something to know. Now you do get in this tray 2 adhesive solutions. These adhesive solutions are going to give you, once again, the ability to at least try it a second time if you make a mistake. So now let me talk about prep and why and how you'll get this installed error-free. All right, so the first thing that I always get the question is, will it work with my case? So what I like doing, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. I have a case, and I'm going to put this screen protector on my phone, and it's not about gluing it. It's about seeing, will it fit while there's a case? So this is the UAG. So you see our UAG case, and you'll notice that as I put the screen protector on this, I have a lot of wiggle space. So there's a lot of room for me to work with. So this is going to be a case-friendly glass protector that will work, at least for now, with the UAG case. So if you already have a case and you want to make sure it works, before you do anything, make sure you follow this step. Now the next thing I'd mention is make sure you have your fan is off, make sure no central air, nothing is blowing around, and you want a level area to start to work with. If you do that and you follow these steps, you'll have a 100% error-free install. So let's get to the installation. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention is that for the first time, the Samsung line of products does come with a built-in screen protector. Make sure you remove it. So as you take a closer look, and we'll see if it comes up on camera, there is a screen protector on here, and it's faint. So when you removed that first sticker, there was 2 stickers. For example, this is the AT&T sticker that's being used, this one right here. When this comes off, make sure that before you put the next screen on, that you remove a screen protector that's here. So you're going to see, I'm going to dig into it a little bit. The nice thing is that Samsung provided one of these. You're going to dig into it with your nail on the side until you get it, and then you remove it. See, there's your screen protector. Now, it's a thin screen protector. It's a nice screen protector, but once again, we want something that's more glass-like, more smooth. So we're going to take this one and then we're going to replace it with the dome glass. So now that you have your screen protector off, right? Now we're going to clean the actual phone. So we're going to use the alcohol wipes to do that. Right? So we're going to take the alcohol wipes out of this and we're going to just go over it just to make sure that there's no residue left, there's nothing going on here. The other thing is I put my phone in airplane mode, so I'm not getting any alerts, any notifications, any of that stuff. So I'm wiping it down and you notice that there's a lot of little liquid there, which is okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe it down. The key here is inspection. You want to make sure that there is nothing on this screen. No dust particles, no grime. If you were using the phone today because you picked it up, by your job, you want to make sure that you have this nice and clean. So I'm going to continue to wipe mine down until I'm satisfied. All right, so now the next step I'm going to go through is I'm going to put this little tab in place. And as we take a look at this, you'll notice how I put the phone in the tray. And I'm just going to start from right over here. You'll notice that this is going to stay flush right here. So you're going to make sure that that's nicely placed. And then you're just going to go over it. And what this is going to do is it's going to cover your speaker. You notice that your speaker is now covered nicely. And pretty much that's all you have to do. Now I've inspected this and I'm going to inspect this multiple times to make sure there aren't any dust particles. But remember, fan is off, central air is off for heat wherever you're at, and making sure that we keep this nice and clean. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to place the actual tray right in its place. Now before putting the tray in its place, I'm just going to double check and make sure there isn't any dust there. So I'm just going to take a look at it, put it at an angle, and just for my paranoia's sake, I think I'm going to wipe it down one more time. All right, so I'm pretty satisfied with where it's at, and I'm going to put this tray now on top of it and then just position it nicely. So everything here looks good. And next thing we're going to do is position the little device here that's going to release the liquid. All right? And you notice that you have this little thing right here. We're going to pull this out. We just want to show you how this is going to work. Once you pull this tab out, the actual screen is going to fall in place. So I'm going to put it back, make sure we didn't see anything drop into that place. And we're going to put the liquid that's in this little vial on the screen. All right, so the vial has two little openings, right? What we're going to do is we're going to open up first the purple side. We're going to insert it, and then once we insert it, we're going to remove this side, this little cap. Keep in mind that when you're doing this, no liquid is going to come out, so you don't have to worry about it until you remove this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this tab, or this actually cap. Put the cap over to its side right here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it and put it where it needs to be. Now the next step is I'm going to remove the top. When I do that, the liquid is going to come out the adhesive. Now you want to make sure that you're in a flat area so that it's level. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our screen protector and put it in place. So let's first go ahead and do that. Reduce this. And what you'll see is all the liquid's going to come out. I'm going to put the cap on its side. And alright, that looks like it's good. I'm going to lift this up. And what I'll do is I'll tilt it. Sometimes there could be some liquid there. There's a drop that's going to come out, and it dropped out. Now before I remove it, I'm going to put this cap on just in case there's something left, because I want to keep my work area nice and clean. So that cap is on, and I'm going to remove this like this, put it to the side, and now I'm going to grab the screen protector. And what I'm going to do with the screen protector is I'm going to remove the tab, and I'm going to do it away from the screen so that if there's any dust, I get no dust there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it first on the bottom, just nice in place, and then let it rest down. Now, the goal here, and there's some dust on top of the glass, don't worry about that. The goal is to get this bubble, that liquid bubble, to touch the glass. This is the key. You need to listen to this part. Once the bubble touches the glass, you're going to remove it. But you want to make sure that there are no bubbles anywhere else. So if you see this bubble right here, if there's bubbles somewhere else or if there's dots of liquid, you want to make sure that you move the tray around so that they come together. If you have any bubbles scattered anywhere, you're going to have bubbles on the glass. or underneath the glass. So it's going to look bad. So make sure that it's all together as it is here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tilt. Now when I tilt this down, the goal is that this bubble touches the glass. Once it touches it, I'll remove this little piece here, and then it's going to spread out evenly. Watch. So I'm going to go ahead and push down right here, and I'm waiting for the bubble to touch the glass. All right. I'm just going to do this just to keep it level. See how it's touching? Now that it's touching, I'm going to remove, and you notice how it's going outward nicely. So what it's doing now is it's going to cover the glass completely, and by doing it you'll have no bubbles. Watch how it's filling everything out. You notice how it's going around the camera, right? Nicely filled, going all the way around. Nothing came out of the camera area, and it's going to continue to do this. All right, so now that we have everything settled, and you'll notice that the liquid dispersed evenly, but there's a little dust speck on there. Don't worry about that because that's on the top. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this UV light and I'm going to place it on the sides. Now, one of the things I like doing is I like doing a double cure on each side before taking out of the tray. I do that because I test a lot of cases, right? So you see me taking them out, say putting them in, and what ends up happening is over time I find that the sides tend to lift slightly, and it's not that it comes off, but I just notice that there's kind of a small lift, and that's just due to the twisting that's going on. So what I'll do is I'll cure here once, I'll cure here a second time, and then I'll cure it once more, and I'll cure the middle. And what I'm doing is that I'm letting it do the full cycle. So you'll notice as we've been talking, the camera's been on, and we're actually, you see the UV light on, and then we'll wait until the UV light turns off, and that is what I call a full cycle. And then what I'll do is I'll move it to this side, and I'll do the same thing. So that's my full cycle. I'll come over here, and I'm going to let it run a full cycle, and then I'm going to do the same thing in the middle, take it out, and then we'll do it again. All right, guys, so that was my last pass going through top to bottom. So what I'm going to do now is remove the UV light. I'm going to remove this top tray out of the way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the actual phone out of the tray itself. Now when we remove it, what we're going to do is we're going to then take it, and then we're going to go over it with an alcohol wipe just to make sure that we don't have any residue left. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so what we'll do that is we'll just wipe things down, and what I'm looking to do is to pick up any excess glue that may have come through the sides. You notice that I have my phone on. I know I didn't turn it off. Some of you will probably get freaked out by that, but I haven't had any issues with stuff like this before. So we're going to continue to wipe this down and make sure we get this nice and clean. And then once we get it clean, we're going to dry it off with one of our wipes. And then we're going to go over the UV one more time. So we'll wipe this off, and let's go ahead and UV it one more time. I'll go ahead and remove this bottom tab too, because at this point there's no liquid. So we're going to go ahead and UV it. So let's take this UV light, and we're going to do the same thing we did before, right? So we're going to start on the sides, and then we're going to work our way that way. All right, guys, so now that we've completed wiping off the screen, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to use our fingerprint sensor to unlock our phone. So I'm going to go ahead and put my finger right here, and it worked, glass and all. Now the next question that you may have is, what about navigation? How does it work? So there's no issues with moving from left to right. Everything works really nice. Swiping up, swiping down, you really don't feel anything. But the more important thing is that it really feels like glass because it is glass. And you'll notice that the only thing that we have is the cutout right here, and that seems to look really nice. No residue. Everything looks really good all the way around. So the next test is let's put it in our case and see if it's case friendly. All right, so now we have our phone in our UAG case, and I just want to show you how it fits nicely. You'll notice that there's enough space all the way around. There are no issues with it touching the case, so this is definitely one that works with UAG, and it also works with many other cases as well. So guys, that concludes our installation review of the Whitestone Dome Glass Tempered Glass Screen Protector. You saw it on the channel. Fingerprint sensor works, navigation is fine, and it's case friendly too. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment area, and as always, thanks for watching.